Hey, welcome to Drawing Conclusions. Today we're reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp, the sequel to Marvel's 2015 Ant-Man, which Josh and I both love. We love that movie.
It's a great show.
Yeah. This is our spoiler-free review, but you can also listen to our first reactions to the movie, including spoilers, on our podcast, Drawing Conclusions, The Drive Home, which is exclusive to our Patreon supporters. If you want to check out our Patreon and become a supporter, the link to that is in the video description below.
What were some of the things that you liked about this show?
Well, I really liked the humor.
Yes.
I thought it was really funny. I mean, the first Ant-Man's really funny. This is funny too. Paul Rudd just is funny.
Yeah, he just is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so charming and funny and
Goofy.
even goofy, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, he's definitely a goofball. It's very funny. Paul Rudd's the best. I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's great.
I just think he's great. So I love the humor in the movie, and of course Michael Pena. I mean, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he was really funny.
There's this whole sequence with him and with Dave and Kurt, and bringing those three guys back from the original Ant-Man and having them be part of the movie still.
Right, it was a nice carryover joke from the first movie to this movie.
Yeah, and they do great things with those characters this time, and they all get funny moments, which was nice, and I love the chemistry between those three.
Yeah.
So I love that too. What did you love about the movie?
Aside from what you just mentioned, I like the visual direction they went in this. It wasn't just all about shrinking and looking at things small. I mean, they kind of took what they did in the first film and just kind of amped it up. There were some things in this movie they did visually that I thought were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They didn't have in the first movie, and I appreciate they didn't just kind of like rest on their laurels and try to retread the first film and repackage and just present it like, hey, new movie.
Yeah, they did a variety of scale.
Right.
It wasn't just small, and it wasn't even just the
Just
kind
big.
of big from you saw in Civil War. They did a variety of things with the scale that was really fun.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I like that. Actually, I liked the villain in this one. I wasn't sure at first, but Ava, or slash the Ghost, as the character's called in the show, I thought her story was pretty compelling, and she wasn't just some one-dimensional, like, I'm out for villainy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
She had real motivations and real complications, and just was a good character.
They went a different direction, really, with her than they had with any of the other villains in the past. There's some kind of similarity somewhat to Warmonger from Black Panther, except the resolution of it is very different.
Right.
And so that was really interesting. I thought she did a really good job. I was nervous about... what did I say? Warmonger? Oh, yeah. Killmonger. Sorry. Killmonger, not Warmonger. How embarrassing.
Okay.
But I was worried about Hannah John Kamen because I did not enjoy her in Ready Player One. And so when I saw that she had this big part in this movie, I was concerned that I was not going to like her. But I thought she actually did a really good job.
I was worried about that excellent. As well. But like you, I think I just kind of forgot all about that and was like, I enjoyed her as this character.
Yeah, she did a really good job as this character. The performances throughout were very solid, really good.
I think the cast they worked well together. You kind of tell they're just kind of enjoying the experience. It seemed like to me they're having a good time.
And Evangeline Lilly, I liked what they did with Hope, and I thought she did a nice job as Hope. I liked the way that the direction that they took that character in. Mm-hmm. She had, I thought, the best fight scenes.
Yeah, hers were awesome.
Yeah, it was really great to see the Wasp in action. It definitely brought a lot of fun to the film. And her fighting style is different than Ant-Man's, and so that was interesting.
That was pretty cool.
And visually, too, what they did with the Ghost in terms of the phasing and everything, and her instability, I thought that worked really well. Mm-hmm. It was really nice. And the whole design of the movie was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. I mean... And then you may be wondering, like, how this might tie into Avengers Infinity War.
Right. You do kind of wonder what the timeline is and how it's all going to tie in.
Where this is going to be at. Yeah.
But it becomes very clear in the first post-credit scene where this falls in the timeline and what's happening, what's been happening. And so we won't spoil any of that for you, but
stay for the credits.
Question will be answered. And there's 2 post-credit scenes. And so make sure you stay all the way to the end of the credits for the second one.
Right.
Yeah. What else? Is there anything else we want to... Oh, one thing I loved in this movie was the relationship between the characters. One thing that's really fun in I think the Ant-Man movie, the first movie, is Paul Rudd's relationship with his daughter Cassie.
Yeah.
And that's even more fun in this movie. And they did some really sweet and cute things with that relationship.
And again, like with the changing and moving forward from the first movie to this movie, they didn't repackage and repurpose stuff.
Right.
I like that the characters are evolving from the first show to this show.
Right.
And their story arcs are moving forward, like whereas in the first Ant-Man, he's got kind of a rough relationship with his ex-wife and her new husband. Yeah. And in this movie, it's moved forward and progressed on from there, and it's really funny.
Yes.
And even sweet. It's just it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so I like that they moved the characters forward, and everybody's just like not staying the same and standing pat.
Right.
You know, it's been 2 years or so, maybe a little longer, I guess, 3 years. Anyway, but whatever. They didn't just stay the same. I did like that they did that with characters.
I think the way that they blended the humor and the seriousness and the heart and everything, that they just did a really good job of combining all of those elements together, and the movie never felt uneven or like the tone didn't quite work or whatever, you know. Yeah. Everything that they did really worked well together. It never got super dramatic and super serious, and it never was like over the top silly. Yeah. It was just like a really nice
even mix. Yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like about the movie?
When we come up to this category, it's not too hard to find something you want to nitpick about. This one, I really can't find anything I want to nitpick about in this show. I mean, I thought the special effects were wonderful. I thought the cast was great. The story was cool. I just enjoyed the movie, top to bottom.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything I really didn't like about the show.
Yeah. It's interesting because I can't point to anything specific that I didn't like about it. Yeah. At the same time, I'm not sure I like it quite as much as the original Ant-Man. I don't know if I need to see it again. I think that there was some... there's something about the novelty of the first time you see a character, and so maybe that's just it. That's just the difference. I don't know. But, and that's not to say that I didn't enjoy this movie, because I really enjoyed this movie. I had a great time. I was never bored. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
And I thought, like I said, I can't really point to anything specific that I didn't like about it. I thought having kind of two villains in the movie, and the one villain being...
Walton Goggins' character.
And then they had very different motivations, very different personalities, and really different levels of villainy, right? Yeah. And Walter Goggins' character, Sonny Birch, was an interesting addition, and I'm wondering how his character, or the stuff that he was obviously working on that we don't know a ton about. There's still kind of a mystery surrounding
what he was doing.
What exactly he was doing. Like how that's going to come back around.
Yeah, I think this movie's throwing out a lot of foreshadowing as to what's going to happen in Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to make one, because I think this movie will do well.
It is a question mark, right?
It is a question mark.
I guess it's not maybe announced, but...
But I think there's some things on the horizon for the Ant-Man and Wasp films, that they kind of touch on briefly in this show, and I think they're kicking it off.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Right. And so we both really enjoyed it. Josh, do you have a rating that you would give Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Oh, I think I would give this probably 4.5 Hello Kitty Pez dispensers. If you see the show, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's in the trailer.
It is in the trailers, but if you see the show and haven't seen the trailers, you'll know what I'm talking about.
4.5 Hello Kitty dispensers. Right. Yeah, I think it's a 4.5. I mean, it's a really fun, solid
It's a solid movie. Show. It's a good movie.
For this picture of Ant-Man and the Wasp, you did something that you haven't done yet for this channel. You used Copic markers.
Yep.
So that's pretty fun. Have you work in a different medium?
Yeah, it was challenging. I haven't used markers to do portraiture in a long time, so I don't know how I felt about it, but it was a fun experience nonetheless.
Yeah. So you're feeling a little like it's not maybe your favorite, but it was nice to get back to markers.
No, I would call this picture a good, not great.
Do you think you'll work in markers some more on the channel?
Maybe not quite the same way they did with this one. Maybe take it do it a little differently. Yeah. But we could do it again. First times are always a little rougher, but you can get used to it. So whatever.
Anyway,
so thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and share, and don't forget to click that subscribe button. Also, find us on Patreon through the link.
Yeah, and you can join our community there and get access to exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else.
Great. Thank you.